everybody, welcome back to another vlog. I almost started this as if I was filming like a Wednesday video. This is gonna be a vlog, not a Wednesday video. You are joining me in the craft room because I am getting, like, I don't know what I was, some sort of like second wind for craftiness and sewing again. I don't know. I started the Etsy shop that you guys know about. I made a whole video talking about it and I was really excited about it. And I started posting things on it, and then other things came up, and I don't think I've touched that Etsy shop in like 2 months. I had 2 sales, which were awesome. Well, technically I had 3 sales, but one was a friend being like, hey, I'll buy that, and I'll just buy it from you straight and not through Etsy, and so that was that. I had those sales, and then that was it. So I just recently did the budget, and I was like, okay, budget's a little bit tight. Like, I really need to start getting at this a little more so we can start getting a little bit more money. And I thought like, okay, I need to start making more stuffed animals for Etsy. And I just got very excited about it, which I'm glad of. So today, I am starting to work on getting out the different patterns for the different animals. And I am working on essentially just going through all of my fabric, finding what I want each animal to be, making sure I have enough of that fabric, and cutting it out and tracing it and like getting everything ready. So right here, I've already started with the dinosaur because this one, I actually had most of this pattern like traced out for a while. And like I have the eyeball right there because that's where the dinosaur's head is. I had the 2 body pieces fully traced out already. So I just grabbed more of this fabric and traced out the rest of the pattern and then added the seam allowance. And like these already had the vinyl eye in place where they needed to be. So that one is done. I just need to cut it out, but I'm not gonna cut it out just yet. So I just have that sticky note there saying that's the dinosaur. I just pulled out my rabbit pattern, and this is my notebook. This is my like, temporary or maybe permanent, I don't know, pattern binder, if you will. So I just have like, this says narwhal, and then this is the 100% pattern. So that's what it is if you were to print off this pattern at 100%. But then I have the narwhal 200%, which is the twice as big pattern. So that is there. And you just kind of go through all of them. So like, here's the bunny one. So that is what I have pulled out right now, which is over there. And here's the bin of fabrics that I'm gonna start going through. Everything in here is from my grandma. Most everything, I'm pretty confident. So I'm gonna start going into these fabrics and figuring out what I wanna use. I pulled this fabric out from the top of that box of fabric because I thought it'd be nice to use that as an accent somewhere. Maybe I'd use that as the main. I don't know, we'll figure it out. But that's what I'm working on. It's Sunday, we had church already this morning. Dan is he had taken some people home to Warsaw, and then he was gonna make a couple stops while he was in Warsaw and then come home. So we are figuring out details of what all our plans are for the rest of the day, I guess. I was getting slightly sidetracked because there's people walking on the sidewalk over there. I was like glancing to make sure they didn't look in and see me talking to my phone. Anyway, I've been doing this for 4 years. You think I'd be a little less self-conscious, but I am not. That is that, but I figure while I am home and by myself and just getting things taken care of, I might as well get started on getting these patterns made because the sewing is the fun part. The picking out the pattern, the fabric that I want to use is also the fun part, but the tracing and the adding the seam allowance and the getting everything lined up so I can make sure to like get eyes and other accent pieces and cutting it out, like that's not the fun part. And that hurts my hands after a while. So if I can get more done now so that I can do the fun part later, like that's what I want to do. So that's what I'm working on. I will step in and let you guys see the progress in a little bit after I've gotten some more done. But that's what I'm currently working on. I'm very excited about it. All right, it is 11 o'clock at night now. I'm getting ready to go to bed. The progress that I made is, I think, more substantial than I anticipated, or that like I thought I was going to make. I have all of the patterns for all of the stuffed animals that I wanted to make cut out. So I got, well, most of them cut out. All of them traced, most of them cut out. I found fabric that I liked to make patterns for a dinosaur, a Loch Ness monster, a bunny, a narwhal, a bat, and a giraffe. So that's 6 different patterns. And I found fabric that I liked for all of them, and I got all of them traced, added all of the seam allowances that I need to, and I have, I think, 4 of them of the 6, or 3? I think I have 3 of the 6 cut out, like entirely ready to start sewing stuff. So I'm stopping for the night, 1, because it is 11 p.m., and 2, because my thumb hurts a lot from scissors. And I will pick this back up either tomorrow or Tuesday, or Wednesday, depending on busy schedule, because we have family from out of town visiting, so I'm gonna be spending as much time with family as I can. Alright, it is several days later now, and I am getting ready to work on sewing these stuffed animals that I cut out. So I left off, I think in the last clip, showing a couple of them that I was working on cutting out and tracing. All 6 of them are cut out now, so this is what I have. This is what they currently look like with their little sticky note showing what they are. So this is going to be a Loch Ness Monster. We have a narwhal. This is the patterns I'm using for a bat. We have a giraffe, which is going to be that pattern. This is a dinosaur and a bunny. So we have the yellow and this I Love You to the Moon and Back print as well. Now what I'm going to work on is getting the vinyl pieces cut out and ready to go to heat press onto these while they are still flat and unsewn for their eyes. And I can show you an example of this because the dinosaur pattern that I have, I've actually already heat pressed the vinyl eyes onto it from a couple weeks ago. So the dinosaur pattern, that you can see, like this is the head and the neck coming down. And so I just take a 1/2 inch circle, and this is just black heat transfer vinyl, and heat press an eye to it. So it's like that on that side, and on the other side has it as well. So I'm gonna do the same for the giraffe, bat, narwhal, and Loch Ness Monster. The bunny, I'm not going to do that because I've made this bunny pattern in the past, and where the eyes need to be is essentially directly on seams on the bunny. And because of the way that the seams connect, I can't sew it and lay it flat to heat press it. So what I'm going to do is, instead of trying to move where the eyes should be and make the bunny look a bit more Picasso than I want it to, I'm going to just use string and needle and thread and just hand sew the eyes and the nose onto the bunny. So I'm not doing the vinyl eyes on that one, but the other 4 I am. And what I do when I'm getting ready to do this is, over here, I have all of my vinyl in these 2 bins. So this is all of my like permanent vinyl, and this is all of my heat transfer vinyl. And in this bin, I keep this bag that holds all of my vinyl scraps. So when I open this, you can see inside of it just all of these like small scraps of a vinyl, and some of them are like tiny little scraps. Hold on, let me find it like a really good example. Like some of these are just like little tiny scraps, like look, there's my phone, of vinyl. And the reason that I save them is because I can use this vinyl no matter, even though it's really a little tiny square, I can use it for stuffed animal eyes. So that's exactly what I've done. I've already gone through this, figured out what colors that are in here that I want to use for the eyes, and I put it into Cricut Design Space, got it all cut out, and I have the eyes right here. I just need to weed them. So I am doing 2 sets of black eyes, 1 set of navy blue eyes, and then I'm giving my bat some pink eyes. Like this tiny little piece is all the more I need for a set of eyes. And I don't have to waste and throw away that little scrap of vinyl. And then I'm not having to open up a huge new piece of vinyl, which if I don't have the scrap and I want a specific color, I'll get into the bigger pieces, like that's fine, I don't mind. But that's why I keep all of these, because I might also then maybe want to add like somebody's name. Maybe somebody wants their name, or a child's name, or a friend's name, or a loved one's name on the stuffed animal somewhere, and I can take a small piece of vinyl that I have and cut out the name nice and small and heat press that on, and that doesn't take very much vinyl at all. So that is why I have this massive bag of a ton of seemingly unusable scraps, because they're actually very usable for stuffed animals. So I am going to now get working on getting my heat press, and I have my coffee all ready to go. I'm gonna get my heat press turned on and warmed up, which, let me just, boop, there we go. So that's gonna start heating up. I might lower that heat a little bit. That's at 305 right now. I might lower that. But once that is heated up, then I'm going to start placing where I want all of the eyes to be and getting those heat pressed on, and also just working on flattening the patterns a little more. And once that's done, all I need to do is start sewing. Now that all of those are over there and ready to go, I am going to get started on the bunny rabbit first. No specific reason, mostly just because it was the pattern that was on top at the end. So I'm just gonna go in order of how they're sitting over there. That's basically the only reasoning. So I grabbed my yellow thread that I'm going to use for this. I'm gonna pull up the pattern on my computer and just get going.